Thank you God for giving me the opportunity to make this video. And please make sure you have a snack. It'll make sense later. Oh, hello. You can tell I just got out of the shower, huh? Yeah. No special costume today. This is just gonna be how we're doing things today. And I hope that's okay with you guys. I look good though, don't I? Like I feel like I would look a lot more professional if I had like something to drink, you know, like I got eggnog. So like you gotta like be professional about it, you know? That's that rich people laugh. You gotta do the rich people laugh. Before we start off the video, I do want to go ahead and say thank you to all the people who decided to be members of this channel. I know we're only a small channel, and the fact that you're willing to get these videos early truly means a lot to me. So thank you to each and every one of you guys. Okay, so this next part of the video I am recording as I'm editing the video right now. This is me editing the video. This is like the other videos from the other times. I wanted to go ahead and say thank you to I believe it's Just Eat Her Cake. Thank you so much for gifting everybody, well, not everybody, gifting some people their memberships. They will be seeing this video a day early. So if you're a member, shouts out to the members, by the way. So shouts out to Jam John, Byron McLeod, Ocelot, Alex F, Albright, and Just Eat Her Cake. They will be seeing this video a day early. If you want to see this video a day early, guys, all you have to do is just go ahead and be a member of the stream and well, a member of the channel, and I really appreciate it. It really goes a long way. Thank you so much. Okay, so it looks like the first person on our list is going to be red-haired Mari. Let's go ahead and check out what she's talking about.
Ma'am, why is everyone saying nothing happens in Thriller Bark? Is this an inside joke that I'm not a part of? I really don't like it. I'll finish it soon, okay? Hey, One Piece fam.
Now, what is she talking about? Nothing happened. I'm very confused. What is she talking about? Nothing happens in Thriller Bark. Nothing I'm very... Why is she asking that question?
Grab a snack.
You guys remember Athena? Yeah, I remember Athena. We did Athena like 2-3 videos ago. Yes, so we're going to be doing Athena again. This is going to be very interesting. Let's go ahead and check out where she's at.
And let's yap about One Piece. So today we're going to be talking about the Orange Town arc, which is chapters 8 through 21. And it was absolutely fantastic, in my humble opinion. I really enjoyed it. I loved the character development, all the characters that are starting to come into play, the backstories that we're getting, and everything about the Three Musketeers, which I call Nami, Zoro, and Luffy. I mean, it is just spectacular. I'm really enjoying the trio, and I really love how Nami is like the voice of reason, while Luffy and Zoro are just like wild and rambunctious and like just all action first without thinking, but then Nami is the one kind of reining them in and being like, hey guys, let's think rationally about this before we just act. So I'm loving their trio. Zoro is my man, my man, my man. Why is he getting hotter as I turn the pages?
No! Look, I love Zoro. I'm more of a Sanji fanboy, okay? Sanji's my favorite Straw Hat. Why? Is it the sword? It's the do-rag, isn't it? I gotta get a do-rag. Give me a second. So now that I have a do-rag on, surely I too will get the Zoro effect, okay? It's foolproof. I have studied this very well.
I love him, so don't mind me if you see me posting about him occasionally, or maybe more than occasionally. And also Luffy, he is just the cutest thing ever. I love him so much. He is just so childlike and goofy and just, I don't know, I feel like he's just a child at heart. And I love that about him. And once again, him and his just determination to be the king of the pirates, I love that for him. So the main villain in the Orange Town arc is Buggy the Clown, and I find his character so interesting and so intriguing. I also thought it was interesting that I didn't really hate his character. Not like I hated Alvida from the Romance Dawn arc. I could not stand her and I wanted her, you know. So I just find him so interesting. I think that the little backstory between Buggy and Shanks was like a little teaser, and I can't wait to get more. It makes me want to get more action with Shanks, and I can't wait until Luffy and Shanks kind of like get back together. I'm sure that's going to come down the road, but it's just sounded so interesting. I mean, the only time I was really mad at Buggy was when he kind of clawed through Luffy's straw hat. It broke my heart. I was like, no, don't do it. But I mean, he was able to salvage it, so that was okay. But I was really mad at him for that. But overall, I'm absolutely enjoying One Piece. I find myself reaching for my manga more than I reach for the books that I need to be reading and staying on track. I can't be bothered to read them right now. So I'm slowly getting through my TBR of books I want to read before the end of the year. But I'm, again, reaching for this more than anything. I'm currently on volume 4 and this is the Syrup Village arc and it's really good. I'm just loving all the new characters we're starting to meet and how the plot is like starting to thicken and progress. So I really am just so excited to see where the story goes. So stay tuned. As soon as I'm done with the Syrup Village arc, I will definitely give you guys an update and share my thoughts. But in the meantime, if you have any recommendations for other manga that I should read, let me know in the comments because I've been starting to collect some different series. So I'm interested to see what you guys would recommend. What? Love you guys. Bye.
Like what? Like she didn't tell us what she... That being said, I really do appreciate you, Athena. Thank you so much for the reading and thank you for the video so I can react to it. So we can react to it because we, the syndicates, truly enjoy and love you O'Hara girlies.
I finished volume 1.
You guys remember Sydney from last episode? I think Sydney was from last episode, right? This is Sydney again. I'm excited. All right, Sydney. Let's see what's going on.
Of One Piece a couple days ago, and I feel like I have to just come on here and talk about Luffy a little bit because he is just, I'm obsessed with him. He wants to be like the pirate.
Do you live
king
by
and
an
do all this
airport?
crazy stuff, but there's just like this innocence about him and the way that he views the world that is.
I'm sorry, but in the background I see a Labubu and it's bothering me. I am a certified Labubu hater. I don't like those things. There's something very strange about them. I don't like them.
So endearing and so sweet yet hysterical at the same time. So I literally could not stop laughing at him. And I feel like this is the absolute tip of the iceberg. There are so many of these, but already his characterization, the way that he is written and depicted, just makes me love him. But there's going to be so many good characters introduced throughout all of this, but I think that he is already, I can tell he's going to be like one of my favorite characters in a world ever, because there's just something about him. I don't know. I finished volume.
She's so wholesome. Oh my gosh. We love Sydney. Sydney is so cool. Hi, Sydney. Aww. Juliette! Can I please read into this without getting accused of lying?
Right. Right.
What is that?
So,
What is that? What is that?
Do you want me to skip over this and not think about this? I can do that.
What
Do you
is
want me to
that?
skip over this entire panel? This entire chapter? I can do that. But where would the fun in that be?
What's
The
the
sky is
context
clear,
here?
mind you. There's a few clouds, but the weather overall is fine. The sea is calm. Zoro is navigating because Nami has a high fever of 104. She's burning up. Everybody's like, oh my god, you're burning up. And she has a headache. But then she's like, oh my god, I can't leave Zoro to navigate. And Zoro's like, go back inside. And then she says, the wind. She says, there's a big wind coming up ahead, I think. He feels her head. She's like, oh, you're burning up. We need a doctor. And then she turns around towards the sea and says, what's that? It doesn't sound like the wind. Nobody else noticed anything. No one else. And then just conjures up. I'm not gonna analyze this, guys. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm a cheat and I'm a liar. I could.
I want to know, Juliette, I want to know who it is that is calling you a liar. Send them to me. I will, Juliette, I want to know who is calling Juliette a liar. Who? Who?
But I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna look at the images. They look so fun. And Nami just passes out. I'm not gonna analyze this text. I'm not gonna analyze what Vivi just said. Because then I'd come to a conclusion that you guys may think I saw a spoiler for. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say anything about Vivi saying, amazing, they say that cyclones on the Grand Line happen without warning, and yet this girl doesn't just use the wind and sky to predict the weather. It's as though she feels it in her bones. Because it's just the thing with stuff like this in literature, and I count this as literature because it has words.
It does.
It's not my problem if you don't.
Yes.
When an author intentionally uses a certain language or words to describe something, it's not for nothing.
Exactly. Oh, Juliette, tell him, Juliette. Oh, let me at him. Let me at him.
Before I continue.
Okay, we have red-haired Maury. Hey, red-haired Maury, how you doing?
Reading One Piece now that I have finished Water 7 and Enies Lobby. I'm going to react to a couple of the anime episodes. Wish me luck. Starting with episode 235 and 236 to watch Usopp and Luffy's fight. The voice actor for Usopp kind of sounds like the voice actor for Inuyasha. I'm wondering if it's the same one. Putting the water on Mary as if she's crying. I hate this so much. They forget that Luffy's just a 17-year-old and like he already just deals with so much. I mean, he chose it, but like, yeah. Oh! Okay, that was so much worse than the anime. I'm very rarely a dub person, but honestly, that was really fucking good. I'm glad that I watched it. I'm scared I'm gonna watch the episode where Mary comes to pick them up and the funeral episode, and I just know I'm gonna cry. And my light died, so sorry for the setup not looking as good as it usually does, but I don't want to wait for that to charge. It's so funny seeing some people's like hair color because I'm not reading in color, so I don't know what anyone's hair color looks like. Oh, Frankie. Some people that were rooting for Luffy to get up. And this is the first time that we've seen Luffy like actually acknowledge that he was like in deep shit. It's the fact that the Straw Hats were the only ones that could hear her. You're joking. They give her a voice already?
I'm sorry. I haven't seen that episode or read that chapter in a very long time. Wow. Okay, I'm ready.
The snow.
まで大切にしてくれてどうもありがとう。僕は本当に幸せだった。君たちがいたから。
Yeah.
I feel empty.
Yeah.
I wish we could have had Mary for so much longer. Well, there's my reaction. Before I continue reading.
I don't even know what to say, man. We're really gonna sit here and watch a bunch of book reading girls go through this. I'm not looking forward to it at all. So as you all know, we've given Becky the nickname of Becky the Evangelist. And Becky the Evangelist has introduced somebody new to One Piece. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Hey! How y'all doing?
Has she is this a review?
If you're wondering what I'm reading right now,
what are you doing? Where's the review? I'm sorry, I'm so mad. Where's the review? I want to see it.
Welcome back, everyone.
Everyone who is watching this, I need you all to sit down. Sit down. Okay? You're at work, take a break. 17 minutes, that's all you need. Because Becky the Evangelist told me this is a 17-minute video of her breaking down Orange Town. A deep dive. Sit down. Grab a snack. What are you eating? Noodles? Good job. Who said rice? Rice? You? Amazing. I personally am eating. I'm not really eating. I'm just drinking eggnog. Now, if any of you women who are watching this would love to drink eggnog with me, I have more in the fridge. Okay? Let's be eggnog buddies.
So today I'm going to talk about Orange Town. And
Okay.
just like with Romance Dawn, I want to focus on the title of this arc, which I think helps to reveal a strong theme, not only in this arc, but I think that's present throughout the entire manga. And that theme is duality. On the color wheel, orange is the opposite of blue. And so we know, obviously, blue is the color of the ocean. It represents kind of calmness, and in the sense of the ocean, it's like new.
Her deep dive is so deep, she's talking about the color orange. She's gonna find out the One Piece. She is definitely gonna figure out a One Piece. Really? The name Orange Town is already a deep dive? The name? Oh my gosh.
New beginnings, and for Luffy, that's the dream of being a pirate king, so going into the ocean, which is blue. And also I touched a little bit about the sky as well, and it's very interesting that the next color in One Piece is now shifting to orange, which is the exact opposite on the color wheel. But it's also a complementary color, and so if you have blue eyes, wearing something orange will make your eyes pop more. You can see my nails, they're orange and blue, which was not intentional actually, but hey, we love coincidences. Focusing on orange is really going to help us to see this kind of duality, whereas blue is kind of a more calm color, more friendly color. A lot of businesses will use blue to be welcoming and open. Orange kind of has like a dual sort of symbolism with it. So it could be chaos, it could be fire, it could be danger, it could be energy, but it could also be kind of safety, it could be community, it could be warmth. Orange is made from yellow and red. We all know that, right? Yellow and red themselves also have this kind of duality. So yellow, which is my favorite color, it is a very bright, it is a very cheerful color. We see it in a lot of beautiful flowers, the sunflower, the sun as well. But the sun burns the shit out of your skin, right? We get a sunburn. It's also a warning. We use it as caution. So yellow has this duality as well. Same thing with red. Red is love, red is passion, red is happiness, but red could also be anger and violence and blood and death and fire again. And so I think when you combine those two colors that already have such contradictions with them, orange becomes a really strong symbol for duality. And so I think Orangetown, to me, when we focus on the color, it's a transition away from Romance Dawn, which was the beginning of this adventure, to now Luffy is really in these harsh realities of life as a pirate. He is starting to meet really strong enemies, and he's really starting to see that it's not as easy as maybe he thought it would be. In this arc, he's really having to open his eyes to what it's like to really truly be a pirate on his own and being the captain of his own ship. I said before about symbolism with the color orange. So, for example, in the East, we always see monks, Buddhism, Hinduism, they're always wearing orange robes. It's also the color of the most important spices like turmeric and saffron in a lot of Asian cooking. Orange also signifies community, it signifies protection, and I think we see these themes in Orangetown with all of the townspeople who are supporting each other. We see this with Shushu, who is very loyal to the shop, and I want to pause a little bit on Shushu because I think his presence in this arc says so much. Not just being a cute little dog, but I think most of you are probably familiar with Hachiko, which is the dog that was waiting outside of the station even though his owner was deceased, and he waited every single day. If you ever get the chance to visit Tokyo, please go to Shibuya Station and go see Hachiko. There's a gate for Hachiko in Shibuya Station. It's right outside the Scramble Crossing. Please go see it. He is so cute. Here's a picture of me, like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. And then in the West, orange is the color of comedy. It's the color of mischief, of carnivals, entertainment. And I think it's really telling and interesting that the very first villain that we meet in Orangetown is a clown. And Buggy really embodies these kind of Western themes of orange. I want to tie back to the previous post that I made about Prometheus. So Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans, and fire is orange, right? And for humans, that fire became warmth, it became hope, it became knowledge, it became advancement, it became transformation. But as I said in the other post, it can also burn your house down. It can burn you, it can destroy. And it's interesting that Buggy's weapons are fire-based. And I think Buggy's arrival is also super, super interesting. In this panel right here, so she's saying, dark clouds coming in low from the south, that means a cold front with a strong likelihood of violent showers. There's a squall line heading this way. So she's basically talking about a storm that's coming. And it ends up capsizing their boat. And then in the next page, we have Buggy actually arriving. Storms are never just weather. In literature, storm is always some kind of omen. And this reminded me of a book that I read. I actually downloaded it again on Kindle because I wanted to reread it. It has been, I don't know, probably 15, 20 years since I read this book. But it is Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. And when I read Orangetown, this is the first book that I thought of, because in this book, the very first chapter, well, after the prologue, the very first chapter, there is a man who comes in and he is saying that a storm is coming, a storm is coming. And the storm essentially is this dark carnival that is coming. And this dark carnival, it's very dangerous. It is full of wickedness. It is targeting the innocent and vulnerable people of Greentown. Now, I think Greentown being the name of this of the city in this book as well is very telling, because Orange, this book takes place in October, so it happens right before Halloween, and all of the leaves and everything, of course, in October are orange. And so the city is called Greentown, but now we have an adaptation of this that takes place in a village called Orangetown. And I personally don't think that's necessarily a coincidence. I could be wrong. You can debate me on that. That's totally fine. Something else that I thought was really interesting in that book is that when they are discussing, Jim says, that music, Calliope, must be coming tonight. And then the other person says, carnivals come at sunrise. So this carnival is coming, they think it's coming tonight, even though carnivals usually come at sunrise, which is dawn. So it's, for me, it's kind of like a flip on after Romance Dawn, the carnival is coming at night. And there's also a lot of other symbolism with this book and what's happening in Orangetown. So the two main characters are two teenage boys, which, again, for me, it's very symbolic of Luffy and Zoro. Now, in Something Wicked This Way Comes, these boys are best friends, and Zoro and Luffy are just now meeting each other. But also in this book, they love going to the library. They feel that going to the library allows them to explore many different worlds and see many different things, which is interesting because that's exactly what Luffy and Zoro are doing, but in the real world. Also in the epigraph of this book, so right before the story starts, there's a quote from Moby Dick in it, which is very interesting because Moby Dick takes place in the ocean. And the quote is, "I know not all that may be coming, but be it what it will, I'll go to it laughing," which is very, very symbolic of
I know not what may be becoming, but be it what it will, I will face it all laughing. Yo! If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
of the way that Luffy kind of goes about life in general. So again, I don't know if that was an intentional connection, but it's really interesting. There's another quote in the epigraph as well that's from Proverbs 4:16 to 17, and it includes the part of the line that says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence," which makes me think of the devil's fruit and alcohol, which they are pounding back in this arc as well. So I don't know, to me it's very interesting. We can discuss more about this in the comments if you would like. There's also another parallel that I found really interesting. In the novel, one of the kind of attractions is a balloon, but this balloon kind of serves to surveil and target the innocent people. Luffy turns himself into a balloon, which is interesting because, again, like I said, this duality, we have the same image of a balloon, but one is kind of fear-based and one makes us laugh. It's quite funny because the cannonball is just bouncing right off of him. So again, could be just a coincidence, but I don't know. If you want me to go on another tangent of all of the similarities that I found in this book and Orangetown, please let me know. But I don't want to make this video too long, so I won't. But I also encourage you to read that book and see if you can pick out a lot of these different similarities because you will find so many. I also want to talk about the town itself. So we see homes being destroyed, the pet food store has been destroyed. To me, it's kind of this symbolism of like post-World War II. Buggy, who is the culprit of this destruction, is symbolizing kind of the Western orange. And so I think that's a really interesting contrast to make as well. Something else, you can call me ridiculous for thinking this, but when we see the breath of death, honestly, the first thing I thought of was Agent Orange, which was used in the Vietnam War. Orange was sprayed, like it was an herbicide that was sprayed, but it ended up killing so many people because it was highly toxic to people. And many people got cancer and died because of this. And it's really interesting to me that we would have the breath of death, which this gets breathed in or it gets absorbed in your skin and essentially causes death for you. And I know it's a comic moment, but I don't think that it's a coincidence that Oda would put some of these comic moments in here that also have this duality with a darker side as well, especially since we see a clown that's supposed to be really funny and joyful and joyous, and a carnival being the literal murderers of the people, the innocent people in this town. But I want to talk about Nami. Now, of course, we know she's a badass, but I think there's also a lot of symbolism with her, particularly in this arc. Now, first of all, she has orange hair, which I don't think is a coincidence, but her entire kind of existence is based on this sort of duality. So first of all, her name means wave. Tsunami means harbor wave. So the part Nami is a wave in the ocean. Now, a wave can carry you out to sea, it can help guide you.
I did not know that.
Or it could sink you, and it could sink a town. So I think it's really interesting that her name also has this kind of dual symbolism with it. I also think Nami is very symbolic of the kitsune, which is this fox spirit in Japanese folklore.
The nine-tailed fox?
The kitsune is usually very clever. It can be both protective and deceptive. It's very observant. And I really think that this kind of fits Nami very well. One, because her hair is orange and many kitsune are orange. Some of them can be white, but many of them are orange. And She deceives pirates, but she protects civilians. She kind of tests Luffy to see what kind of pirate he actually is. She's kind of questioning and making her judgment based on what she sees from him, and also Zoro. She's not necessarily just cutting them off completely for being pirates. She survives through intelligence, not necessarily by brute force, and she really kind of moves between groups, and she doesn't really trust anyone, and so this is very fox behavior to me, and so I really see Nami being this kind of kitsune sort of character in One Piece. My favorite thing about Nami is that she loves tangerines. Now, she didn't say oranges, which I think is super relevant, because when we think of oranges, we always associate that with pirates because of the vitamin C that they need to avoid scurvy. But she loves tangerines, and tangerines are a softer fruit. They are a sweeter fruit, which I think kind of alludes more to Nami's kind of femininity. But tangerines also have much higher levels of vitamin A than oranges do, which is interesting because vitamin A is necessary for good vision. And Nami's role is to be a navigator, so she needs to be able to see, have good clarity, good intuition, and direction. And I think this is also symbolic of her personality as well, because she's constantly the voice of reason between Zoro and Luffy. So I think her favorite fruit is a metaphor for her personality and her character. And this also ties into the devil's fruits. So I think that the devil's fruit are based on the inner workings, the inner person of whoever it is that is eating it. Let's go back to Buggy. So Buggy's chop chop.
All right, this is a reminder to me. Please remove the part that shows your name with the Apple Watch. Okay, reminder to me. All right.
Fruit basically makes him immortal. He can be chopped up to many pieces and put himself back together again. But I think this kind of reflects his insecurity. He has a very broken sense of self. He's very jealous. He's very competitive, especially with Shanks in the flashback that we saw. And his fixation on treasure, I think what was that? I don't know what that was. His fixation on treasure to feel whole, to make himself feel whole. He also seems like a very emotionally fragmented kind of person, which I think is why he needs to wear a mask, why he is a clown. It's just his overall inability to hold himself together. He literally comes apart under pressure, which is reflective of what the devil's fruit caused in him. And I think this is also true for Luffy, because Luffy's devil fruit is very reflective of his personality. So he does not let anything get to him. He does not let anything affect him. Everything bounces off to him. He's very emotionally resilient. He's very flexible. He's very safe to be around. He's not going to hurt you. He doesn't have sharp edges. He absorbs impact. He doesn't break. He bends. Nothing hurts him, right? So his rubber body, I think, is reflective of his emotional resilience. So it's very interesting that we see two characters who ate two devil's fruits, and each of those fruits are reflective of them as a person. And then when we contrast this to Nami, who her fruit that she likes is also reflective of her, I don't necessarily think that's a coincidence. So I'm really interested to see what other devil fruits come up and how these are tied to the person who has consumed it. And this last thing that I want to say is about mirrors. So as I said, I think the fruit is kind of a mirror of their inner self. Their power mirrors who they really are. But that's also interesting when we think back to carnivals. Carnival was a very big theme in Orange Town. We had the lion tamer, we had the acrobat, Buggy's a clown. Mirrors are also really important in any carnival. Any horror movie that you see with a scary carnival, there's always like the room of mirrors. And I think that's really an important symbolism about the devil's fruit, because Luffy and Buggy are kind of no longer able to recognize themselves without this mirror of the fruit, because it has changed fundamentally who they are. They are trapped in this new form, which again, I think ties back to that duality of the fruit giving them power, but also being a curse. There's a lot of other examples that I might make another part 2 on, the way that Luffy and Zoro respect each other and treat each other versus the way that Buggy's crew treats each other. They're all technically pirates, but they're behaving very differently. They have different levels of respect with each other. Luffy is not going to get in the way of Zoro's fight because he respects Zoro enough to let him fight by himself, whereas Buggy's crewmates were literally pretending to be dead so that way they didn't have to jump in and fight. I still have a couple of questions that I have taken a note of that I'm really interested. I wonder why Nami is so capable of drinking, because she is knocking him back, but she's a teenager. So what kind of hard past does she have that she is essentially capable of just drinking a bunch of alcohol. It makes me very worried for what I'm going to learn about her past in the future. And I also really strongly suspect that Shanks made Buggy eat the devil's fruit on purpose. I think he tricked Buggy and switched the fruit so that Buggy would eat it, which also, as I mentioned in another TikTok video that I made, I wonder if Shanks also kind of tricked Luffy into eating the devil's fruit. I don't know. Those are questions that I have, and of course with every arc I have more and more questions, so please don't tell me the answer. I don't want to be spoiled, but let me know if you thought this was very interesting or not. Let me know if you want me to expand on anything else. I'm super happy to, and I can't wait to make a deep dive for Syrup Village, which I recently finished. Like and comment and share this if you enjoy, and I look forward to making another one for you guys. Welcome back, everyone.
I think that's a safe spot to end the video. What do you guys think? I think that's a safe spot to end the video. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all so much for watching this one. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And for those of you who have it in you, thank you so much for becoming a member of this channel. It really means a lot to me, and I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful evening and morning or afternoon, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Stay classy. Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to make this video.